Hey guys, in this video I'm going to be giving you an update on my Polymarket, giving you several plays that you can follow, explain why I think they're going to be profitable, and let's go through it. I'm going to start with the NBA All-Star Game tomorrow. Just a couple hours ago, I had the dunk contest and the three-point contest. I was riding Dame, I was riding No on Buddy Hield, and I had Matt McClung to win, so ended up a little bit up on that. Unfortunately, Dame couldn't pull through for us. That would have been big. Let's talk about this game. So the only sportsbook I can find that really has outrights for this is FanDuel. So I throw those into this template that I've given you guys in the past, and I can link that in the description too if you want to check out a template for this. But basically what it does is you enter all the odds. It tells you the juice. In this market, it's 11.7%, and then it standardizes that down through all of the plays to tell you the no vig odds if you assume the juice is even for all of them. It might not be, but it's all we can do. So it's the best guess we can take. So we can see Shaq 45%, Chuck 31%, Kenny 16, and Candace 8. I got Shaq at 41 cents, so I'm trying to sell him at 47 just because it swung a little too much, and now it's overpriced, whereas I got it underpriced. Then we look at Chuck. I got a bunch of no's at 64, or at 65. I'm trying to get more at 64. Again, it should be probably around 69 for a no. So I'm getting a little cheap. Kenny, I got at around 16 cents, which at the time was fine, but now is actually, it's still fine, but you can get even better now. So I was trying to get him at 13 cents. I was picking him up. And then Candace, I got at around 6 cents and should be around 8. So that's just what I did for that. Really simple. And basically, if Chuck loses, I'll make money. If Chuck wins, I'll lose money. So we'll see what happens there. Now I want to talk about the NBA as a whole. Okay. So what I do is I use this website called Vegas Insider. I use this for future events just because it's really easy to see and it updates pretty quickly. I prefer OddsJam for individual games, but for futures like the NBA championship, I use Vegas Insider. So then I put all of the teams here. It's the exact same sheet. And what I like about this is you can see a bunch of different sports books. And so you can enter the best one for each of them. And it lowers the overall juice. So I think it gives you a more accurate representation of the true odds. So the teams that I think are underpriced right now are the Thunder. I got them at 26 cents. They should be around 28.5. If you can get the Celtics at 26, that's also good. Next three teams are all overpriced. Cavs, Nuggets, Lakers. Priced at 11, 8 cents, and 7 cents. They should really be around 10, 6, and 4.5. The Knicks are actually pretty fairly priced at 6 cents. Should actually be at 5.8, but I had orders out at 5 cents and they were getting filled just at really low amounts, like one share at a time. I bought these when the Knicks were supposed to be at 7 cents. I still believe in the Knicks. They got a really strong starting five. Karl-Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson have both been playing great. OG, underrated. Miles Bridges, great. Josh Hart holds the team together. I think the Knicks are going to go far. Let's talk about the Clippers here. I had a good trade on the Clippers. I was picking them up at 1.2 cents, 1.3 cents, even at 1.8 cents. And then they popped up to 2.7 cents very briefly. Actually, you could still they're still at like 2.4, but this was off after Ben Simmons had that good game. So I think someone was like, oh, maybe that's the missing piece or something. I don't know. They're all healthy too. They got Kawhi and Harden and Norman Powell's playing good. But the fair value for the Clippers is only 2 cents. So I just dumped all 60,000 at 2.7 cents. And something to think about is the difference between 1.2 cents and 2.7 cents is only 1.5 cents. So you can get a bigger gap than that 1.5 cents with the Thunder, but the percent increase, which is all we really care about, is the percentage gain, is way higher. Going from 1.2 to 2.7 is over doubling your money. And so that's why I think the lower percentage teams are the better ones to target for these futures markets. Mavericks overpriced. Grizzlies, I have an order out at 2.2 cents. I've picked up 25,000 shares. The Grizzlies should be at 2.7 or even 2.8. Then Milwaukee at 2.6 also. I'm trying to pick up at 2.1, I believe. 2.2. Got some at 2.1 also. Warriors, another team that I've sold off of because they popped up in price. So look at this. 12 days ago, I bought the Warriors at 0.9 cents. 2 days after that, I was able to sell them for 2.5, almost tripling my money. And that's off the Jimmy Butler trade news. But it was just a rumor. Everyone knew the Warriors were going to make a trade. And the fair value was like 1.2 cents at that time. So I was able to make a profit on that. I made a video on the Warriors a long time ago where I was getting them at 1.4 and 1.8 when they should have been at like 2.2, but then they kind of fell off. Kuminga got hurt, but then I was still able to salvage it and even make a profit on that swing. Then I've got a lot of Timberwolves, 90,000 at 1.3. Fair value for the Timberwolves is actually only 1.5, so it's not that big of a difference. But similarly to the Clippers, it's like I'm not trying to hold these till the end of the season. It's not like I think the Timberwolves are going to win the finals. I just think there'll be a certain point in the year where it'll correct, and they might even be overpriced after a big Anthony Edwards game, or Julius Randle comes back. Right now we've got no DiVincenzo, no Julius Randle. They still beat the Thunder. I think they could easily win a playoff series, and these odds could go up. If we look back to the beginning of the year, they were at 7-8%. So if they just recoup like half of that, I triple my money. Rockets, another young team that I do really like. They're also at 1.5 cents. I'm trying to pick them up at 1.1. I've got 75,000. They've got Jalen Green, Amen Thompson, who are both dogs. And then you got Sengun and Fred VanVleet, a nice veteran presence who's won it before. Dylan Brooks. They've just got a solid team. And then all these other teams are overpriced, except for the 76ers here. 76ers are so undervalued on Polymarket right now. I have an order out for 95,000 shares at 0.5 cents because here's what you got to see. Okay, 0.5 cents. Their real value is 0.9 cents. You go here. 76ers, best you can get is plus 10,000. Best you can get is plus 10,000. That equates to 0.9. Okay, 0.5. The difference between 0.9 and 0.5 is 0.4, right? 0.4 divided by 0.5 is 80%. That means you're getting if these correct to their fair value, you're getting an 80% return. That's crazy. Nothing should be 80% underpriced, okay? Huge opportunity. The reason I don't want to just buy up all of these is it's just not that much money. I'd rather just keep the order here and see if anyone bites on it. Okay, so that's what I'm doing for the NBA Finals. Now let's just look at the portfolio as a whole, and I can talk about some things. First, I'll say, they added college basketball. I've been getting good odds on college basketball. I use OddsJam for that. And I got Auburn at 41 cents today when fair value is 45, 46%. So that's great. And I've got Kanye to not launch a coin. Really don't think that happens. I don't know why it was priced at 80 or a 20% chance. I really don't think so. I had Mac McClung. That's nice. Picked up some dubs on these UFC fights. Buddy Hield. Shea Gilgeous to an MVP just a little bit. This one is actually, I'm kind of optimistic about this one, guys. Okay, XAI, Grok 3. So Grok 3 is going to release Monday at 8 p.m. Pacific time, and Elon says it's the smartest model. Now, if it was just Elon saying this, sure, whatever. Still think it should be more than 12%. But it's got by far the largest training cluster of any model, and just the way the scaling laws of more training, more data, more compute, just fucking exponential. I really think, it's got potential to be the best. Now, here's the problem. One of the problems. He's also doing some innovative training techniques where they're using synthetic data, a ton of it, and then they're going through and self-correcting and self-deleting stuff that doesn't make sense, which I think has some promise. Now, clearly there's some hype growing when he tweeted that it's going to come out Monday. It went up from 5% to 12% in like an hour. So that's nice. But one thing that kind of sucks is there's not a lot of liquidity. If you want to get real money down on this market, you're going to have to buy it up to like 25% chance, which I probably wouldn't recommend doing, because even if it is the best, smartest model, that actually doesn't guarantee that it's going to win this, because the metric that's used for this market is pretty stupid. It's this LLM chatbot arena, and it's just like a blind test where you just ask a question and rate which model you think is better. And most people are not at all pushing these models to the limits. Like GPT 4o pretty much gets a perfect score. Gemini 2 Flash gets, like, it's more the style and how they write the response than the actual intelligence of the model. So I think this is a really flawed metric. Like O1 is 100% smarter than 4o, and it rates lower just because I guess people voted for 4o's style of writing higher. One thing that is kind of promising though is Grok 2 kind of overperforms its intelligence in this metric. Like I think Grok 2 is really bad, but in the LLM model it beats 4o in the 2024 version. So I think Grok 2 kind of overperforms in this metric, which is why it's got some promise that Grok 3, even if it's not the smartest, could still win this metric. And I think at 3%, it was certainly worth throwing a bet down. So that's something I'm hoping for. And that's probably about it. As you can see, the account's been growing. We're up to 13.6K profit. Hit about 1.3 million in volume. So we're making about a 1% return on average, and that kind of checks out with the odds jam bets that I'm making. I'm usually just getting about 1% cheaper than they should be. And that's gonna do it for this video, guys. I'll leave a link in the description to OddsJam, and I'll make it the getting started guide, where the founder of the website explains what you should be doing and why it works, as well as a 7-day free trial, so you can just use it and see if it ends up paying for itself and if you want to keep using it. As always, guys, leave a like, leave a comment if you have a question. I'll answer all the questions, and of course subscribe.